In the fall of 1889, in the quiet hills of Brattleboro, Vermont, something unusual was discovered that challenged what doctors thought they knew about child development. Dr. Edmund Hartwell, a respected physician and Civil War veteran, was called to examine what locals described as a mysterious child. What he found in that farmhouse filled 17 journals with notes that broke every medical rule of the time. The boy looked like any ordinary 12-year-old, but Dr. Hartwell soon realized he was anything but ordinary. For 8 months, the doctor observed abilities no one could explain. Medical boards in Boston and New York later reviewed the case, and all agreed this was something never seen before in American medicine. The story began with the Whitmore family, Samuel and Rebecca, who lived in a small Vermont valley. They had no children of their own, so when Samuel's brother died in a logging accident, they took in his 12-year-old son, Daniel. The boy arrived with little more than a canvas bag and worn-out clothes. From the start, he was unusually quiet, polite, and mature beyond his years. Within days, Daniel showed remarkable intelligence. He read through books in their home with incredible speed, memorizing entire passages and discussing ideas most adults would struggle to grasp. He also had an unexpected talent for mechanics. When Samuel's blacksmithing equipment broke, Daniel repaired it in minutes and even improved its efficiency. Soon after, he began predicting events with unsettling accuracy, warning them about a bridge that later collapsed and advising Rebecca to save extra vegetables before a frost ruined crops across the valley. By September 1889, Rebecca grew worried and asked Dr. Hartwell to examine the boy. Physically, Daniel seemed perfectly healthy, but mentally he was far ahead of his age. He solved advanced math and geometry problems instantly, recalled conversations word for word, and even seemed to answer questions before they were spoken. Hartwell also noticed something disturbing. Daniel's vital signs never changed, no matter the situation. His pulse, breathing, and temperature stayed perfectly steady, unlike any normal child. Word of Daniel spread quickly, attracting other doctors. In October, Dr. Marcus Webb from Massachusetts and Dr. Catherine Morrison from New York came to see him. Both left shaken, agreeing that Daniel's abilities defied science. The 3 doctors began sharing letters, hoping more study might explain what they were witnessing. As winter arrived, Daniel's powers became even stranger. During a brutal blizzard, the family ran out of firewood. Samuel prepared to risk the storm, but Daniel simply knelt by the fireplace and, without touching the embers, caused the fire to blaze back to life. Rebecca also noticed his odd sleep patterns. He needed only 3 hours of rest, and even then remained aware. He claimed he could hear conversations miles away, which Rebecca later confirmed as true. By January 1890, Daniel began predicting deaths and local events with alarming precision. Samuel started writing them down, astonished when every detail came true. In February, Dr. Morrison returned with advanced psychological tests. Not only did Daniel pass them all, he often gave answers before questions were finished. Even more unnerving, he moved a compass needle with only his focus and calmed sick animals simply by standing near them. In March, Daniel entered strange trances, describing events in faraway cities and even disasters as they happened. Newspapers later confirmed his accounts were exact. The doctors struggled to explain whether this was a medical anomaly, an evolutionary step, or something beyond science. By spring, his behavior grew unsettling. He spoke of threads connecting all consciousness and described realities beyond the physical world. His eyes began showing gold and silver flecks, his skin glowed faintly in dim light, and his body temperature dropped to levels doctors considered impossible for survival. Dr. Hartwell recorded Daniel's body temperature at only 91 degrees Fahrenheit, yet the boy showed no sign of illness or distress. His pulse was under 40 beats per minute, and his breathing slowed to match, but he stayed fully alert and active throughout each day. During this examination, Hartwell witnessed something he could hardly believe. When handed a solid block of wood, Daniel passed his hand straight through it as if it were liquid, leaving the wood completely unchanged. Hartwell repeated the test again and again, carefully documenting the results, but the outcome was always the same. He began to question his own sanity as he faced something that defied the very laws of physics. By May 1890, Daniel's presence was felt far beyond the Whitmore farm. Villagers began reporting strange dreams in which the boy appeared, giving advice or warnings. These dreams always turned out to be accurate. A merchant in Brattleboro, for example, dreamed Daniel warned him about spoiled grain. When he checked, the shipment was indeed unsafe and could have harmed dozens of families. Soon, people across the valley shared similar stories of Daniel guiding them, preventing accidents, and offering help through dreams and visions. In June, Dr. Morrison returned with a group of leading physicians, including experts in neurology, psychology, and the study of unusual human abilities. Their tests left them stunned. Daniel could see events happening in multiple places at once, move objects with his mind, influence emotions, and even describe conversations that had not yet happened. He explained calmly that time was not fixed but something he could move beyond. Some of the doctors even experienced vivid hallucinations, briefly sharing Daniel's expanded awareness before being jolted back to reality. The experience unsettled many so deeply that some wanted to leave before the study was finished. Through the summer of 1890, Daniel became increasingly distant. He spent hours standing motionless in fields, claiming to be in contact with unseen forces. His speech began to shift, filled with terms no one could understand, phrases like consciousness matrices and dimensional points. He no longer ate meals, explaining that he could now draw energy directly from existence itself. Medical checks showed his digestive system had shut down completely, yet he remained in perfect health. By August, word of Daniel had spread far beyond Vermont. Religious leaders, government officials, and scholars arrived at the farm hoping to see him. He received them politely but with little interest, demonstrating his abilities with the same calmness as if he were doing ordinary chores. For Samuel and Rebecca, however, the constant visitors and Daniel's increasingly strange nature filled their lives with tension. Hartwell's journals from this time show his growing belief that Daniel was moving beyond human experience altogether. Late that summer, Daniel revealed that he was preparing for what he called the transition. Samuel noticed him arranging objects in complex patterns inside the barn, which Daniel explained were anchor points to keep him connected to the physical world. Around this time, families in the valley reported waking to find Daniel silently standing in their homes at night, watching without speaking, as if studying human behavior. By September, Dr. Hartwell noted startling changes in Daniel. At times solid, at times translucent, Daniel could vanish completely, walk through walls, or grow heavy enough to bend iron with his touch. He even described existing between layers of reality. Soon, plants grew out of season, crops produced impossible harvests, and animals reacted as if sensing something invisible nearby. In October 1890, Harvard researchers observed him speaking to multiple people at once, defying space and time. Then, on September 15th, Daniel vanished without a trace. Hartwell's final entry read, "The boy has gone beyond human existence. We witnessed evolution itself." His journals were sealed, and Samuel and Rebecca left Vermont, never speaking of Daniel again. Hartwell practiced until 1923 but never regained his curiosity, believing humanity was unprepared for what they had seen. The mystery of Daniel Whitmore remains unmatched in medical history.